Hey everybody, happy Homebrew Wednesday. It's Brad here at Wild Boys Brewery. Hope everybody's having a good one. Today on my homebrew updates, I'll show you some quick footage of what I've got going on with the brews that I have in fermenters, and I also have some Brewday footage of my triple chocolate Belgian Stout. I had said before it was a porter, but it was actually, I was thinking about a different recipe when I was talking about it, because we looked at several of them down there when we put it together. And it was actually a modification of the Black Forest Stout that's in the Brewing Classic Styles book. That one's got cherry and chocolates in it. And Maris Otter is your base malt, because it calls for English 2-row pale, so you use that. And it's got Crystal 40, and well, let's see, I got the brew sheets from yesterday right here in front of me. It's 14 pounds of Maris Otter, half a pound of roasted barley, 10 ounces of Crystal 40, 10 ounces of Crystal 80, but I use Crystal 75 because that's what Dan had. There is no special B in it, but I added that to it because I like that grain. So 10 ounces of that. And I split the chocolate malts up. That one, the original recipe just calls for one half ounce of like some chocolate malt. I think it's got a love bond of like 420 or something like that. And so what we did was we used a quarter pound of English chocolate malt with a 500 love bond, and then a quarter pound of Breeze American chocolate, which I think has a love bond of somewhere on like 3 something. So it actually equaled out to about the same love bond number as the other one. It's just have a little more flavor profile. So it was a total of like 16 pounds, 10 ounces, 16 pounds. 14 ounces actually, yeah. So it's almost 17 pounds. It's like 2 ounces short of being 17 pounds. And it calls for a half a pound of cocoa powder in the recipe, and I put that in there at 1 minute at the end of the boil. And then when I transfer it over to secondary, I'm also going to do 3-week primary, 3-week secondary, and then when I transfer it over to secondary, I'm going to do 4 ounces of cocoa nibs for 3 weeks, and then I'm going to do a sample, see how it tastes. If it's picked up enough of the chocolate flavor, then I'm going to go ahead and bottle. I think that'd be long enough. And then my hop profile is, this is totally not what the recipe called for. I think it called for 2 ounces of East Kent Golding or something like that. We went with Fuggles, 1 ounce of Fuggles, 60, 3 ounces, or 3/8 ounce of Horizon, which is a real nice, fruity, very pleasant hop that I've used. I think that's actually what I wound up using a little bit of in my Russian Imperial Stout, and I had it left over, so I just went ahead and tossed it in there for a little extra bittering. And then the rest of it's straight up Fuggle. It's got 1 ounce of Fuggle at 30, and then 1 ounce of Fuggle at 10, UK Fuggle. And I just got up, so I'm enjoying a cup of Paul Newman Colombian roast French press made coffee. So it's a different kind of homebrew, but I like it just about as good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to the some Brewday footage, and then show you the stuff I've got in fermenters, and then I'll be right back. Okay, got the strike water and mash water heating up here. The mash tun's been sanitized, and here's the goodies going in the brew today. What I've actually got going on is, I said before it was a porter, and it's actually a stout. It's a specialty beer recipe that we modified. It's a Black Forest Stout's what it's called. It's a cherry stout that I'm leaving the cherries out of. Chocolate cherry stout, actually. And what I'm doing with it is I'm putting extra chocolate. I'm leaving the cherries out, putting in extra chocolate. So it's actually going to wind up being a triple chocolate Belgian Stout. And show you what I got going on here. The hop schedule is 60 minutes, I got 1 ounce of Fuggle and 3/8 of Horizon. It doesn't call for Horizon on the recipe. I've just got some stuff left over from another batch I'm going to throw in there because I like Horizon. And then it does I think it's another 1 ounce of Fuggle at 30, and then another ounce of Fuggle at 10. And then it's got a Whirl Flock at 15, and then the Y yeast nutrient goes in at 15. And 1 minute before the boil's over with, you put in your baking cocoa, and it's half a pound, 8 ounces. You put the whole thing in, and basically you put it in at the end of the boil just to sterilize it. And then basically it creates a chocolate sludge that the beer sits on. And you leave it on that for anywhere from 3 weeks to a couple months. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 weeks in the primary on the chocolate sludge, the baker's cocoa, and then I'm going to transfer over to secondary, and I'm sure some of that sludge will come with it, because you always wind up picking up a little bit of your yeast when you transfer. So some of that sludge will come with it, and then I'm going to put it on 4 ounces of cocoa nibs, and I'm going to leave it on that for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'm going to bottle it, and that's pretty much going to be my beer. And it uses the 1214 Belgian Abbey yeast, and that's where it picks up the Belgian from. So I've got the 2-liter starter over there going, and that's pretty much it. I'll come back when I got something else to show you. Here's the yummy goodness of the mash in. Nice chocolatey looking head on it. Smells awesome. And I was shooting for 152, and I'm bouncing around about 153 and a half. Anywhere between 152 and 154, I'm cool. 153.6. Looks good to me. I'm going to put the lid on this baby, and we will start our 60-minute mash. Oop, a little tiny bit of grain left there on the bowl. I don't want to waste any grain. Alright, we're going to mash in at 153.6 for an hour, and then we'll come back and then we'll roll off and start sparging out. Alright, I spared you all the other hop drops. Here's the last one. 1 more ounce of Fugles. Fugles, UK, Fugles. And that's all up. And I got the wort chiller in there. This is my 10-minute drop. Last one I'll do. Give it a stir. And then the last thing that I'll be doing before, I've actually already put my Whirl Flock in and my yeast nutrient. I use Y yeast, a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast nutrient in that. And then this last hop drop. And then there will be the half a pound of baker's chocolate will go in for the last minute, and then I will turn on the wort chiller, cool it down, take a gravity reading, pitch the yeast, and wait for bubblage. Alright, here's my triple chocolate Belgian Stout. It's right before, what time is it? Oh, it's about 11:25. This thing's been a little bit of a slow starter. The yeast starter did not kick in real hardcore. I think it may just be the strain. It's at 1214. It's the first time I've ever used it. The last few times that I've brewed, I've used American Ale 1056 or 1272, and those are pretty aggressive strains, and I think I've just gotten used to those taking off and kicking ass right off the bat, and this thing just has started bubbling. It's been about, pitched the yeast last night about 9 o'clock, so it's been about 14 hours, and I just am starting to see some bubbles from it. But I am happy that it is bubbling. I was kind of concerned that I was going to have some stalled yeast and have to go get another smack pack toss in it. I already did a 2-liter starter on it, and Looks like it's picking up now. He hears me talking shit about it, so it's going to fire up and probably have a blowout here in a couple hours. That's fine. It's got to blow off too, rigged up on it. But that's taking off, and I'm pretty happy about that. So cheers to that. And then got the I'll show you some other stuff back here while I'm back here. That's the Czar's Revenge. The one growler sitting there with the cap on it's just empty. I'm not moving it out of the way. But got the 3 gallons of rum and vanilla beans there, and then that one's rum, oak chips, and vanilla beans, and then the one that's behind that's bourbon, oak chips, and vanilla beans. And they've been on there since 9/8/12, so going on 2 months, and I guess it'll be 2 months tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and bottle that up this weekend. That should be long enough to sit on the oak chips and the vanilla beans and the rum, pick up all the flavors. And this is the, you can see it, kind of dark in here. That's the Smashing Pumking Imperial Pumpkin Ale. And it's got a nice little bit of yeast left in the bottom of it from the secondary. I wound up putting another vanilla bean in there, so it's got 3 Tahitian vanilla beans now, and I put a little bit more spice in it because when I transferred it over to the secondary, I didn't have quite as much spice as I'd wanted to. I wasn't really always picking anything at a ball. Started off with 3/4 of a teaspoon, and that was not really showing up, so I put another half a teaspoon in it, so it's got a teaspoon and 1/4 in it. And I think I'm going to just leave it there, and that should be pretty good. I'm sure it'll probably pick up some more of the spices once it's carbonated, so I didn't want to overdo it and then carbonate it and then start drinking it and it'd be too strong and have to let it age out to start enjoying it. But this is one that'll last for years and years because it's like 8.5%, 9%. I think total was what the grain bill put it out to be, and then I wound up putting 12 ounces of Captain Morgan's Special Reserve rum in it, so it's probably closer to 9 or 9.5 when it finishes out, if I had to guess. But that's the homebrew updates. And so got the Imperial Pumpkin Ale, Imperial Russian Stout, and the Triple Chocolate Belgian Stout. And that's all my homebrew updates for what I got in fermenters now. That's what I got going on. Hope everybody's having a happy Homebrew Wednesday. I will, if I put up any beer reviews up, then I'll see you before next Homebrew Wednesday. I don't know if I will or not. Just if I find something I really like, I think I might review that Hell Hath No Fury Belgian. It's like a Belgian chocolate ale that Bell's come out with, and it read like it'd be really good, and I may do that. And I also got my Black Betty 2.5 is going to be done. I think it'll be 2 weeks in the bottle today or tomorrow. I think it was might have been yesterday. But my international IPA is done. The Black Betty should be done. I'm going to go ahead and label those up. And the people that I've told that are going to be getting them, be looking for those to show up sometime by this weekend. Probably you should be getting them sometime around Friday or Saturday. I'll probably get them packaged up, shipped out either today on Wednesday or tomorrow on Thursday. And they will be sent to you using the service that gets there in about 2 or 3 days. So depending on where you live at, you should be getting them either Friday, Saturday, or Monday. Probably Saturday. So people I've told that are getting those, be on the lookout for them. Those should be showing up by this weekend or first next week. Let me know what you think about them. Hope you enjoy them. Everybody have a happy Homebrew Wednesday, and I will see you soon.